Government, of course, has outlined a very consistent and concise policy on telecommunications that stretches back to the previous administration and which has been reinforced by this administration. And it is to ensure that Barbadians can have the easiest possible access universally to all telecommunications technology that can be introduced into Barbados. And of course, the revolution that we've seen in cellular technology in Barbados has been nothing short of spectacular. And I think tonight, we now carry this to an extreme level. And I want to say that with the introduction of 4G, the government of Barbados is, of course, extremely happy that large amounts of data can now be moved with such speed as to help us to be able, not just from remote locations, but from almost any location, to be able to conduct our business and our affairs personally at a level that is less costly, that is more effective, that is clear, and of course that will add to our levels of competitiveness. So I want to say tonight, congratulations to Digicel. I hope that this is the beginning of, or the continuation of a level of investment which we have seen in Barbados over the years, and that the company will grow from strength to strength and contribute to Barbados. I do know that we do have before us an application for a wireless land service, and I want to say that that is under active consideration of the government. I am not the Minister of Telecommunications, but I look forward to the day when Digicel can participate in this aspect of the telecommunications.
A wonderful company to be involved with. I am very, very proud to be honored with the post of a director, and I will do anything to promote the interest of it. And now they're launching 4G. I can just imagine all of you folks being able to move around the country with your iPads or your smartphones, iPhones and so on, and be able to surf the net and get and feed information down to yourself as fast as you could if you were connected to the other supplier's landline. Now I want to say just one last thing to the ministers that are here. Digicel needs the license to put a level playing field in Barbados between the competition and themselves. They are capable of installing fixed lines throughout Barbados, and I guarantee you that if they are granted this change in the legislation, that people will not have to wait and beg to have a phone put in when they build a new house. The phones will be there within hours of this company in the person of Dennis O'Brien is something that has taught me a great deal. They invited me recently to a directors meeting of all the companies all around the world in Ireland, and the general manager in Barbados, who is standing right there, O'Brien as well, it was the weekend that England was playing Ireland at rugby, and I need not say how the Guinness was flowing. So by the time I got the directors meeting, I was weighing a good few pounds more of Guinness. Anyhow, what I was amazed to find out is that Mr. O'Brien, Dennis O'Brien, who is the nicest person you could ever want to meet. I would go to meetings here in Barbados with him, and he would get up and pour me coffee. The humblest man you could ever want until you got into that meeting. And he brought the boards of the Digicel companies all over the world before him one by one, and they had to report on what they had done and what their success was and so on. I have never come across a more ruthless individual. We were in a castle with a moat around it. It was cold as the dickens. The Jamaicans came in and they had overspent on their operation expenses. He told the guys, he said, let me tell you, depart from in here forthwith. Go and get into the moat. And when you have figured out how to control your operating expenses, you may come out of the moat. Now it has ended. So Islam is very, but in the evenings then, nights is the dawn of war.
I mean, our strategy is to go from being perceived as a mobile company to being a full ICT telco company. So we have basically the mobile, we're by far the largest player in the Caribbean at this stage with 26 markets. And the next stage is obviously the internet broadband. We've launched the WiMAX network, which somebody mentioned previously, which is another internet technology. Difference being that fixed point-to-point. We're launching 4G for internet. And the last part of this whole jigsaw is the fixed line, and we've applied for a license for that. That coupled then with Nexar to do all our integration and to enable us to partner with companies like Cisco is filling in the last piece of the jigsaw. So that's where the company is going into a full ICT company. And for us, obviously, I mean, the market as such is actually, there's going to be so many people here in Barbados, and believe it or not, there's 110 mobile phones for every 100 men, women and children on this island in this country. So market penetration, as we define it, as 110%, which is very high. So we're obviously not going to create more customers. We can take them from that other company as busy described side of things, which is important, I think, for Barbados when we launched here in 2004 and for our launch of 4G. Is that for every 10% increase in mobile phone penetration equates to roughly a 1% increase in GDP. So all in all, telco absolutely vital and important to all of us. And that's why, I suppose, some of the reasons why Digicel is involved in this. We've busy have alluded to the history of Digicel at the beginning, and some mad Irish guys coming in and annoying him in the very beginning. But I would see myself following along in those areas, and we take a lot of, I suppose, of the good that actually happened in Ireland, and we're trying to transform it into the Caribbean. And obviously now on the actual converse, we're trying to look at what went wrong in Ireland and trying to avoid doing it here in Barbados. But on the ICT sector is a very interesting one, even in my own little economy, Ireland at home. What actually happened over there was the whole property sector collapsed, the whole financial sector collapsed. But the economy, the Celtic tiger as it was described, which was double-digit percentage growth for 15 years in a row, was actually built on the ICT sector to begin with. A lot of it was foreign direct investment, particularly from the States, and the rest was indigenous companies that actually came after the foreign direct investment. And even if you look at Ireland today, we've had a 6% increase in exports this year, despite there being a recession, all built on the ICT business. So what I'm saying, I suppose, here is that for Barbados, I think we can look at that model and sort of say, yes, ICT is a really sturdy business that can actually enable Barbados to grow. I mean, because it is quite a wealthy business, and the great thing about it is it's borderless, and things like 4G, internet, enable that globalization. We can sell anywhere, we can sell to whatever we want to eBay, we can market on Google or whatever we want to. It's all about ICT for small island economies.